All right, let's head north and talk about a country that a lot of us think we know pretty well. But here's the thing, Canada is so much more than its friendly reputation. So today, we're going to go beyond the maple leaf and really dig into what this place is all about.
So let me ask you, when I say the word Canada, what's the first image that pops into your head? For most of us, it's a pretty familiar and, yeah, a very friendly set of images.
First up, there's that world-famous Canadian politeness, right? The endless stream of sorries that have built this global reputation for a nation of just incredibly nice people.
And then, of course, you've got hockey. It's not just a sport there, it's practically a religion. It's woven right into the national identity, played everywhere from frozen ponds to massive arenas.
And you can't forget the maple syrup, that sweet, golden stuff that is just undeniably Canadian. But here's the thing, if that's all that comes to mind, you are missing out on the real story. The truth is, these stereotypes, they barely even scratch the surface.
To really, truly understand Canada, you have to start with its sheer mind-boggling size. The little stereotypes we just talked about, they're like tiny pixels on a truly epic canvas.
It all starts with this number. Just look at it. Nearly 10 million square kilometers. So what does it actually mean? Well, it means Canada is the second largest country on the entire planet. Only Russia is bigger, that's it.
Okay, now get ready for this one. 243,000 kilometers. That's the length of Canada's coastline. It is the longest of any nation in the world, and honestly, it's not even close. If you tried to walk it, it would take you over 30 years without a single day off.
And the country's width? Just as staggering. It stretches across count 'em, 6 different time zones. So when kids are heading off to school on the East Coast in Newfoundland, folks out west in British Columbia are still sound asleep.
And when we talk about water, this fact is almost unbelievable. Just let this sink in. Canada has more lakes than every other country in the world combined. It's a nation that is literally overflowing with fresh water.
Now these numbers are impressive, sure, but they really come to life when you see the country's iconic landscapes. You know, from the unbelievable turquoise lakes of Banff, to the raw, thundering power of Niagara Falls, and the highest tides on Earth in the Bay of Fundy. This is where those huge statistics become breathtaking reality.
But a country is so much more than just its geography, isn't it? It's really shaped by its people. So, let's pivot from the land itself to some of the remarkable individuals who helped forge this nation's character. This timeline just shows a few of those key moments. Back in 1867, you've got Sir John A. Macdonald, the guy who basically dreamed up the idea of modern Canada. Fast forward about a century, and Lester B. Pearson gives the country that iconic maple leaf flag we all know. And then, in 1980, Terry Fox. After losing his leg to cancer, he united the entire country with his marathon of hope. He's just an enduring symbol of pure courage.
And a huge part of that Canadian identity is Medicare. This core belief that healthcare should be a right for everyone, not a privilege, is a defining national value. And the man who championed it was Tommy Douglas, a leader so beloved he was actually once voted the greatest Canadian of all time.
And that spirit of serving the public good, it's perfectly captured in this story. Before the 1920s, getting a diabetes diagnosis was basically a death sentence. But then, Canadian scientists Banting and Best had this incredible breakthrough. They isolated insulin. But here's the most amazing part. They sold the patent for just $1, making sure it could save millions of lives all around the world.
So we've seen this massive land and this rich history. But what does all of that mean for Canada today? Well, its modern identity is this vibrant, beautiful mosaic of different cultures and ideas.
At its very core is official bilingualism, English and French. They aren't just historical footnotes. They shape everything from federal politics right down to the labels on your cereal box, reflecting the 2 founding European cultures of the nation.
And that cultural mosaic is just made of countless brilliant pieces. You've got the incredible words of literary giants like Margaret Atwood and Leonard Cohen, the stunning landscapes captured by the group of 7 painters, the unbelievable courage of civil rights pioneer Viola Desmond. And today, that legacy is carried on by global ambassadors like Drake, sharing a totally new Canadian sound with the entire world.
So, how in the world do you tie all of this together? These vast, empty spaces and the diverse, resilient people who call that space home?
You know, maybe the best answer is hiding in plain sight, right in the country's official motto, Amare usque ad mare. It's Latin for from sea to sea. It's a phrase that literally ties the nation's identity directly to its geography, a country defined by the 2 oceans that hold it,
And this reveals the central paradox of Canada. It's got the second biggest landmass on Earth, but its population, it ranks all the way down at around 38th. That means you have this immense amount of space for a relatively tiny number of people, which has created a nation defined just as much by its wild, empty spaces as by its bustling cities.
Which really leaves us with one last question to think about. For a country defined by its incredible vastness, is its greatest strength the space itself, all the mountains and lakes and forests? Or is it found in the vision, the courage, and the creativity of the people who have worked so hard to connect it all, from sea to sea?